Start the SideQuest live on August 23rd, 2020. We're going to talk about video games and potentially get sponsored by Manscaped. Manscaped. No, I'm just kidding. Hey, guys, I'm Dolly Domofsky. I'm joined, as usual, by the one, the only JJ Holder.
That's me. I am definitely not sitting here watching SummerSlam the whole time.
Hey, does the fucking jumbotron of people watching from their living rooms, basements, and bedrooms look as dumb as it does in pictures?
Oh, maybe worse.
Oh.
Yeah, it's bad. It's very awkward to be staring at these people in dimly lit rooms. Much like it'd be like if this podcast times 1,000.
The other voice you just heard there was Erin Scratty Bones Kelly.
Hey, hi, hey, what's up?
Hey, I like that. Hey, and Mr. Rossetti himself, Sam Dixon.
Hello, friends. Could you imagine if sponsorships worked like that? Like if you just run enough advertisements for a company, all of a sudden the check just shows up at your door.
Fine, you win this round.
Man, he's been talking about us a lot. Did we pay him? I don't think so. Should we?
Sharpie markers. Sharpie marker. Wait, Cheez-Its.
There we go.
You just go to that, like, go to this/this and enter the promo code SideQuesting. It doesn't matter what promo code you enter.
We should totally freaking do that. All right, if you guys want to get 10% off your next order of Oreos, go to hasbro.com/SideQuest.
No, you can't say that because that's lying. But if you just tell them to do it and don't say they get anything for it,
all right.
You're totally in the clear.
Hey, Hasbro just had 2 water guns recalled because there was a sticker in the water reservoir tanks that leached off too much lead than is illegally allowed. Question for you: what stickers have you ever seen have lead in them, and what are they doing inside of the water tank?
Oh boy.
That's the best place for stickers to be, inside a tank of water.
I like that, inside a tank of water. It's good. Very good, very good. Well, gentlemen, it is fantastic to have you joining us on a wonderful Sunday evening. I'm keeping an eye on all of the breaking news. We don't have any breaking news. There's nothing going on. We're going to talk a little bit about what we're playing and then dive into some news that we've had pop up over the next week. And let's start with Aaron. What have you been playing?
Hey, hi, hey, what's going on? That was my intro. I'm just repeating it. I've been playing the hot new game from 2018.
What's that?
It's a multiplayer game on Steam and probably elsewhere called Among Us.
Ooh.
Yeah, my D&D group plays every Saturday and has done for several years. And the DM, he and his wife had a kid a couple years ago. So now if they can't get a babysitter, it tends to push the games, or we do end up doing odd things. So, if they can't get a babysitter, they have to wait till the kid goes to sleep. There's only like 2 hours left in the day to play. We'll play Jackbox instead of a D&D session. Yesterday was one of those days. And all of a sudden, everybody's sitting around waiting for, the game to start. And he goes, I just bought you all something. We're going to play it. And we've all got like a Steam gift thing. And it's this game called Among Us. And none of us have ever heard of it or played it. And we were like, what the fuck is this? Not expensive, not graphically intensive. What it turns out is that it's like Mafia or Werewolf, but like on a spaceship. You're given it's multiplayer. You're given a list of.
That's kind of interesting.
You're given a list of tasks. And all of the innocent people have to run around like the map doing these tasks. They're really simple things like press this button, to win. Or if you discover one of your also innocent people has been murdered by the bad guys, who get a button that just says kill this person. Run up and kill this person. It's on a cooldown. You can discover a body and like start like an emergency council session, and if you can determine who the bad people are, you can shoot them out the fucking airlock, and then that's the other way you win.
That works.
And then the bad guys obviously have to kill everybody, or I think that might be the only win condition. You have to kill everybody, or if there is an equal amount of bad people to good people, then the bad guys automatically win because there's no way to majority vote them out. But yeah, no. So I was playing that out, and that was fun.
Cool. How big of a how many people can play at once? How many folks did you have? I guess.
I think it's 2 to 10.
Okay.
And you can change. You can change all the settings. So like you can change the number of criminals in a group. So if you're only playing with 5 people, you can set it to just one person is bad. Or if you have a full complement of 10, you could be like 2 or 3 is bad. You can change the the cooldown timer on the bad guys being able to kill somebody. So you can set it to something ridiculous like 10 seconds, which is what we did one time, and that was a very quick round. Or you can set it, several minutes, I think, and you can change the tasks that are given. So you can have here's a bunch of short tasks, and it'll make for a very quick game, or here's a really long task where you start it and then a timer starts, and you have to go do something else for the timer, and then you have to come back and. At any point you can die. But the cool part about it though is in games like Werewolf and Mafia, outside of very specific roles in that game, like when you're dead, you're dead. In this, you get murdered and then you're a ghost, and none of the living people can see you, but you can still do your shit. So you can still help the good guys win because you can still run around and do all your tasks. Yeah, so there's
that's kind of interesting, actually. Yeah, you can still have something to do, and okay.
But
I like that.
Yeah, I was playing that, and I have not played any more Fall Guys.
All right. Are you swearing it off?
Yeah. Until that game gets a mode where there's no team games, I'm pretty much done with it.
Yeah, a lot of people hate those team games, man.
It seems like there's a split between people who play that game with friends and people who play that game by themselves, and that split is the people who play with friends don't give a shit about the team games because they're playing with friends and anything's fun when you're playing with friends, and the people who play by themselves really fucking hate being drugged down by shitty players when they're stuck on a team with them. I'm in the second category. I don't play that game with anybody. So
yeah. I can't handle the team events that are in there because there's the one where the was it the eggs or something falls into that, you got to collect them and bring them into your area, but they're impossible to you've got to punch them out of the other team's bowl or whatever, and it can get super impossible, and the physics are intentionally bad. It's funny, I wonder with that game if the physics are intentionally designed to be bad, or if they were just so bad that they just went with it.
No, that game is too consistent with its physics for that to be anything other than intentional.
No mistakes.
It's like that game is goofy and wobbly and kind of mushy, but do the same exact thing and you'll get the same result every single time, which can only be intentional.
The one that I hate is I think you go down that slide. By the way, I have started playing it. You go down that slide and you're supposed to jump at the very last second to get onto.
Oh yes,
yeah.
I miss it every time. Oh my god! And the camera is so bad. The camera is just
the camera is set up in such a way that the first time you ever play that one, you cannot see that there's a gap there.
Yeah, exactly.
So you'll see everybody just slide down, just whoop right into the hole.
Yep. I still haven't won, so I can care less. I'm not going to be Tim Tatman or whatever his name is.
I've been one of those people that jumped for the crown and then didn't hit grab fast enough.
Oh,
but I've never actually gotten the crown.
Okay. All right. All right. Okay. Cool. So Among Us and swearing off Fall Guys. That's good. Let's go to Sam. Sam, you were playing Mortal Shell last time.
Yes, I don't have anything fun to show this week, unfortunately.
No.
I was totally right. Within a day, somebody had that speed run under an hour,
nice.
And now it is pushed to, I believe, 37 minutes was the last time I checked on it. Probably under half an hour now for sure. So called it.
It's literally not even a week into the game yet, and it's under a half hour.
Yeah, I played a little bit more after I had the lovely showcase of me dying repeatatly on here.
We'll have that video up soon too, by the way.
Can comment that I am much better playing by myself without a studio audience. So. I mean, you were talking about not playing Fall Guys. I feel like Fall Guys is pretty much all I've been playing.
Okay.
As of late, because I mean, again, counter to you, I have a group of people that we've been playing it
Good.
with.
All right.
And the team games don't really frustrate us. The things that we're running into are issues with lag and stuff like the tail grabbing games.
Oh, God,
where
that
it seems like you could be
game.
like 10, 20 feet away from somebody, and all of a sudden they have your tail, and there's really no explanation for it other than just the connection.
I posted a video. We were watching one because I had lost, and so we were watching one session, and it was the tail grabbing one. I like I said, I lost right before it, and the poor dude. I think I tweeted it out. The guy is the last person. And then you start seeing the, round over or whatever, episode over thing. And all of a sudden, like, somebody comes out of nowhere and grabs his tail. And it immediately cuts to the other person winning. And I thought that is just absolutely... It happens all the time to people, apparently. You just wait till the last second and wait till the timer runs out, and then you go after that tail.
That game is 60 seconds too long.
Yeah.
Like in that tail grabbing game, and there's a few other ones like that, where you could literally put your controller down for a minute and 15 seconds and have an equal chance of winning.
Didn't they just change the tail grabbing to like a minute 30?
Yeah, I think the team one, they moved down the clock too.
Okay.
And there's a patch, I guess, that's scheduled for sometime later this week to kind of fix a couple of other things.
Okay.
I don't think, teams are going to be guaranteed to be even, which I've not run into an issue, at least that I've noticed, where one team was slightly higher than another one. I think if they not already did it, they're making sure that team games don't happen back to back, which was causing a lot of stress from people, I guess.
Yeah.
Also giving you the ability to change your invert your right axis for your camera, which I guess wasn't an availability before. I don't invert, so I don't know if that was a huge issue. At the end of the list, they did the update where it's like reverse the nerf on yellow team speed. Don't post this one. Because I guess the community is that yellow team is for losers, and if you're on yellow team, you're guaranteed to lose.
There was a tweet, like a joke tweet they made. If this tweet gets 1 million retweets, we'll remove the yellow team. And then within 30 seconds or something, it had something like 2,500 retweets. So then they were like, "Oh,
maybe not."
We were kidding, but I guess if this happens, it happens.
Yeah, well, I mean, if they delete "quote unquote" yellow team, they're just going to replace it with another color
purple
and then
team.
probably revert it back at some point. I mean, it's been a lot of fun. They're fixing one of our other bigger issues, which is like when you get eliminated, if you still have teammates in the game, it didn't auto set you to spectate those teammates. So you had to just hit the bumpers until you were able to find your teammates. So it seems like they're going to fix that. So now Are
you playing PS4?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So now you can see your teammates immediately after that if you continue to spectate. So
got it.
That's positive.
I'm really curious to see if any of their updates fix the bug that I had, which didn't impact gameplay at all. But you remember in the first couple of days when the servers went down for maintenance because they were getting overloaded. So when I tried to connect to a game during that period, it had removed everybody's name. And so their accounts were just the account, they're Fall Guy and the number of the account they had. And if you hit the button to display names, that's all I could see. And then after their maintenance was done for days, that's it. I haven't seen anybody's name since then. It's just that it's just Fall Guy and then a number.
I was watching videos of people. I figured that Fall Guy and then number thing. I thought maybe they had a streamer option like Fortnite has on PC, but
who knows? Okay.
The only other thing I've been playing, and I haven't really played it enough to speak too much about it, but has been Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Oh man!
I 6 to 8 months ago purchased a Hori. What is it called? Or not Hori? A Thrustmaster. All of their gear sounds like psychotic. It's like a Thrustmaster Hortus 4 or some nonsense like that. That was on sale at Amazon.
Installation.
You got a HOTAS?
Yeah. Hey, Flight Simulator is cool. I says for now, every time I drive, I'm going low speed. In my head, I'm just saying landing gear, because there's certain planes that if you have like the throttle cut all the way and you're like too low to the ground, it's like, hey, why don't you have your landing gear out? The only reason we should be this low, other than sightseeing, which is the whole point of the game, is to land.
Says, no interest in planes, but the game is beautiful. Yeah.
Yes, and let me tell you that if you think your computer is strong, just go ahead and turn on Flight Simulator and learn that it's not. I have a pretty beefy machine, and I can play that game in like 1440p 60 with everything turned to ultra pretty well until I get to a city. And then all of a sudden, it's like fluctuating at like the 40 FPS mark with like huge hitches. And if there's a storm a brewing, like there's real issues.
Did you did you go to Typo Tower yet?
No, is that the that's the giant obelisk that's in the middle of the city somewhere, right? Because somebody entered
like Australia or something.
2 extra digits, yeah. No, I've done the thing that everybody does, which
Typo
is
Tower,
fly to their hometown and look at the house they either currently live in or the house they lived in the past, and then crash somewhere near there because you're too low to the ground and not paying attention to anything but that. And then I've done the thing like I flew out of like JFK or whatever in New York City, and then went, holy shit, JFK is really far away from the city. I flew out of this place before, and I feel like it was closer to the city than this.
Well, it's kind of interesting because of that reason, like we're understanding, oh shit, the airports really aren't a part of, like LAX isn't in, it's like outside of LA basically, right?
Yeah.
Detroit airport, same way, JFK. God, I'm in awe of the great videos that folks are posting of like the stuff they're seeing. They're recreating like famous airlines, like airplane scenes, like they were like crashing into the Hudson River and trying to get, doing the whole plane into the river type of thing.
It's funny that game is like a sim, and it yells at you about stuff like, landing gear because the plane would do it. But then it just lets you get away with stuff that makes zero sense.
Sure.
Like there is an airport that is, maybe 20 minutes from me. And I put airport in air quotes because it's really just a long stretch of grass that like little little crop dusters fly out of to spread things on fields. But it'll let you take off a Boeing 747 and that's
awesome.
if you want to. Now, in my case, I did not get fast enough to take the plane into the air.
Oh, nice. Just ran into the ground.
Yeah, but like that's the tutorials go through and it teaches you how to like take off, and they teach you like a taxi pattern. So like, you take off, and when you go to land, you get like 45-degree angle at the thing and you turn, and then you should be in line to land. And it tells you all this fun stuff, and then it sets you free. And you're like pretty much like able to do it just by using the tools and stuff at hand. And then they have these challenges where they're just like, oh, we'll just take all this stuff out of you. And there's been so many times that I've started one of those challenges and be like, I'm gonna try to use the instruments, I'm gonna use no influence, I'm gonna use no help, and then it'll be 20 minutes later and it's like, oh yeah, I was doing something, huh? Like I'm pretty sure these people that were on a sightseeing tour would have loved to have seen the sites that we were scheduled to come visit here.
If you look to the right, oh shit.
Yeah. So I mean, it's cool. It's going to be one of those that, I feel like I'm going to check out maybe a couple cities or a couple different locations that I've been to in real life and be like, that's fun and that's cool. And like when VR comes out as an option for it, I'll definitely strap in.
Oh God, that would
see that for a little bit. But I like, there's not really even the challenges. I mean, yeah, there's like a handful of them, and it's, I certainly don't think I have the appropriate skills to get through navigating without any form of assistance yet. But I just don't see there being a lot for people after that. It's going to go down as being another one of those. If I didn't have Games Pass for it, I likely wouldn't be playing it, or I would be like waiting until it was on like a super discounted sale. Yeah. There's currently not an Xbox version, but I think they were trying to make one. It seems like maybe a Series X only title, I would say at this point.
If there's anything that would save the Series X this holiday season, putting Flight Simulator out there would be pretty amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly fun. And if you have a flight stick sitting around, it seems like instantly compatible with a lot of that stuff. I was seeing people be like, I've had this like PS2 interface a flight stick that I used to use old Microsoft Flight Simulator on, and now I can just get a 2 USB adapter and it works just perfectly fine.
Stefan asks, have you gone too close to the North or South Pole yet?
No, I've mostly only stuck to places in America. I did Tokyo last night,
Okay.
just to kind of see some stuff. And my partner was born in Palau, so we went and kind of explored the islands of Palau there for a little bit.
Nice.
Cool. I don't know. That's a good point, though. I haven't gone to like Alaska or anywhere where there's a
Bermuda
lot of snow.
Triangle or
And if you've been like
Area
watching like
51.
even the Digital Foundry videos or anything like that, like the weather and the sort of like the volumetric clouds is what everybody's being like, oh my god, this game looks so amazing. So maybe I'll fly to Siberia or something and just head up into the great north and see what I can find.
I tweeted out earlier a TikTok video, because everybody loves TikTok, of this absolutely insane landing that God, what was it? It was like this guy had he loses a wing like mid-flight on this like small little plane. And here I'm gonna send this. I'll drop this in the chat here.
Yeah,
but
we gotta talk about that link because I'm not sure it's real.
It's like, it looks crazy. Maybe it's not real, but holy shit, if it's real.
The last like couple of seconds of that seem a little too unnatural.
He just slams it down. I just posted it in the private chat there. Yeah, but who knows? Who knows if it's real or not? But Flight Simulator, I think I played them way into the past. But I'm definitely hyped about this one for sure. For sure. Yeah, I don't have a PC that'll be able to handle it. Which is reason enough for me to get a PC, I guess.
I will say it's scaled. Like, if you don't care about everything running at Ultra, it does scale down pretty well. I have a friend that's running on pretty old CPU and not the best AMD graphics card, and he seems to be at least playing it at 1080 decently. He hasn't complained to me that was bad, but I know he was worried going in, and he's like, I barely meet the minimum specs, and seems to be having a good experience with it.
Cool. All right. Okay. Well, let's. You got anything else that you're playing right now, or?
I mean, stuff that's not really worth mentioning. I played about
the
20
unmentionables. My unmentionables.
Yeah, I mean, I played about 20 minutes of Battletoads, and that's probably about 18 minutes too long. I downloaded Darksiders Genesis, and we'll see if that's any good. Thank you, Games Pass, again for all of these titles. I did download New Super Lucky's Tale, and then decided that I'd rather play Super Mario 3D World. So I just started playing that again too, because still waiting, Nintendo. If you announce that day one purchase, until then I'm gonna play it in 4K on an emulator. So.
Yeah, that's isn't that like one of the other rumors?
Yes, yeah. I mean, of all the Mario 3D All-Star Collection.
Well, it's just the daily freaking rumor of there's a Nintendo Direct this week. Like, they've been saying it for like the last 4 weeks. I love folks like Jeff Grubb and Tiffany Treadmore and everybody else out there, but I'm so worn out on. There's definitely a Direct coming this week, and then it's like an indie Direct. And they're like, yeah, I mean, it could have been anything, but I told you there was something coming. So at this point, I'm like, all right, I get it, guys. I'm just gonna. Me too. You know what, guys? I know for a fact that there might possibly be a Nintendo Direct coming at some point in the future.
What is it? Grubb tweeted like 2 days ago that he wants off of this Summer Games mess. He's like, I never should have done this.
No, he should not have. People are holding him to it and all this stuff.
Yeah, but that's probably the funniest thing about it is the fact that all of a sudden it's like very large places. I'm hearing like just listening to their shows and stuff like that, and all of a sudden it's like, wait, what was that? Rewind 10 seconds. Oh, they just name dropped Jeff Grubb.
Yeah, Jeff Grubb, Nintendo Insider Jeff Grubb. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, I occasionally watch those Game Explain videos because they seem to update like with 2-minute long videos about anything Nintendo related. It's like, oh, Miyamoto sneezed today. Let's talk about it. What was one about a possible Direct later this week? Because I hadn't heard like where this rumor came from. And they name dropped Jeff Grubb over it. And I was like, oh, Grubb's just trying to exist out here, and everybody takes him too serious nowadays.
Jeff Grubb sneezes. It's a Nintendo Direct.
Noted game insider Jeff Grubb.
Noted insider.
Hosted the Summer Games Mess.
There you go. There you go. JJ, what have you been playing, my dude?
Well, I definitely tried to play Flight Simulator, but
Wait, how big is the game to download on your PCs? Like how big?
Oh boy.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like
Hold on. Actually, let me take the reins back here for a second. Hey, Microsoft, we have to talk about your shitty Microsoft store.
Right?
Let's talk about how. Okay, so in and of itself, Flight Simulator is ridiculous because you download like a 2 gig file, boot it up, and then there's like 150 gigs left to go. So you have to keep the game running. Now, I will say the game like automatically shot into windowed mode for me.
Yes.
To run it. So luckily, I was able to run it in the background. Now, let me say about how every 2 hours or so, it just shut the program down because it was idle. So then I left to work and I was like, sweet, I'm going to have like 60 of the 90 gigs I still got left download. I'll come home and we made it maybe 23. So it took me numerous days to get this game downloaded. So much so that I cleared enough space on my work laptop that I use for graphics editing and stuff and downloaded the whole thing on the fast internet at my job before my home computer was able to download the whole thing.
That's right. You have like creaky, slow internet at home.
Yeah. But the worst case scenario with that thing is what happens to me with every single first-party Microsoft game that downloads from the store, which is it gets about 90% of the way downloaded, claims it's fully downloaded, and then when you go to start it, it crashes. And then the only way to fix it is to delete the whole thing and re-download it.
Yep.
And it does it. Every single Microsoft first-party game has done it to me since like Horizon 3. And I do not understand why that's a thing. I've called Microsoft about it numerous times because it is like I don't have a bandwidth cap. If I did, I'd lose my mind. But like I have to download 90 gigs worth of game and then have it not work on me and then spend another 3 days downloading it. Like, oh my gosh, it's every time with them. Every single first party.
It's every time.
Hey, listen, you don't got to talk to me about how shitty the fucking Microsoft Store is. It's thanks to that fucking thing that I don't legally own Windows 10 anymore.
No, there you go. Yeah.
It's every time Microsoft. Why is this a thing? Because your downloading works just fine on the Xbox. Like, did those two teams not talk to each other? Okay, my rant's over. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
why did you have a bad situation with Flight Simulator?
No, my computer does reach the like bare bones minimum specs to run it and does not run it. Just absolutely refuses to go more than like 5 frames per second. I'm like, well, all right, that was a good like 24 hours of downloading I wasted in my life. So didn't hurt, but again, Game Pass, so I don't give a shit. I realized yesterday, while all of the DC stuff was going on, that I never played the Blackgate game, that shitty
the DS one, whatever.
Yeah, on Vita. But I have them all on PC, and they have like an HD version of that on PC. So I started playing that, and that's not fun.
Oh boy,
that's not a fun game. It has. It takes place in a 3D like world, but it's a 2D game. So like it does that old Resident Evil tank controls thing where you'll start moving, and then you're like, well, he's walking towards the door in the background, so I'll tilt the joystick up to make still keep pushing left, huh? Okay.
So I think it's Armature Studio that does that game, and they did they did Blackgate, they did Recore.
Yeah. Recore, that's it. Yeah. I like Recore. I actually like that game. But no, it's a Metroidvania, and it's just not. It's not fun. It seems buggy as hell too. So, but I did play 3 levels of Battletoads.
Okay. I gotta download that.
No, you don't. No, you don't. It plays fine. It really does. It's everything else that I cannot stand about that game.
Really?
It is.
How far did you get? The level after the speed bikes? Because that was it for me.
I got through the level after the speed bikes, the turbo bikes, and I'm like, I'm probably going to go through it just out of stubbornness, but It's not funny. It is, for a comedy game, it is one of the singular most unfunny experiences I've ever had in video games.
Oh, come on. The one of them wears a diaper. That's funny,
he's wearing a diaper, and it appears to be full. It's great. It's almost immediately meta, which is mostly never great. It plays fine. It does. It's okay. It's got a decent. I kind of like if you're playing single player, it has a really interesting health mechanic where you can tag in any toad at any time, and when the other toads like aren't in play, they're kind of slowly regaining their health, but once all three are like done, they're done and it's game over. And each one's like, one's faster, one's average, one's the heavy, and you can just sort of pop back and forth between them for what's needed. And that's fine. It plays fine. The combo system's good. It has like almost like a grapple mechanic with the tongue at times. You can like stick your tongue out and like grapple yourself towards enemies and stuff. It plays the turbo bike. The second stage is a turbo bike stage.
Oh yeah, sweet.
Yeah, and so it's third person, so you can see the obstacles coming better, but it goes on and on and on. It just keeps going. Like,
there's about 3 or 4 different spots where you think it's going to end, and then no, it's just really bad dialogue, and more of it takes place.
Yeah. It's like you get out of the tunnel, and it's like, oh, now you're seeing like a cityscape. You're like, cool. This is no, second tunnel. Okay, cool. And each one has its own aesthetic to it, and different obstacles, and it's just mind-numbing. It's not, and I don't like. In game, the visuals are okay, but the cutscenes all look terrible. It looks like a Flash animation.
Geez. Yeah, bad Flash animation. I wonder how quickly they put this game together, because it feels like they went through this like they went through some sort of crunch to just get something. Yeah, for a game that, it's like, they make reference to it, so 26 years later kind of thing.
Like this is like in a year where you have like Streets of Rage 4, or you're not too far removed from like River City Girls or something like that, like really good examples of bringing back these kind of franchises to like with better versions. This is bad. It looks bad on Rare, except I guess the two of us are on different boats, because it's getting great reviews. Like,
wow.
Yeah. So I don't know. I hate it. I genuinely hate it. I'll never.
I hate it.
It's very confused of who it seems to be for.
Yeah, it's definitely
looks like a Saturday morning cartoon, but it's not for children, because I'm pretty sure they cuss in it.
Yeah.
And like, it's just, the comedy is written like a 5-year-old wrote it.
Yeah.
And it's like referential to the point that it's like ridiculous, because half these people that are going to play it because they're interested in Battletoads probably didn't even finish Battletoads, or played the arcade version, and not like the super hard NES one that everybody complains about.
Yeah, the arcade version is the best version of Battletoads, but it actually does have difficulty options. At least there's like an easy mode, a normal mode, and a Battletoads mode. Which
oh boy,
Battletoads
mode.
Yeah, I'll never touch that. Yeah, no, it's not great. It's like, come on, Rare, please, just there's a million other things you could have done to this Battletoads. What we got? And yeah, I'm not feeling it. I'll see how much more of it I can stomach before just giving up entirely on it. I don't know who this game was like marketed towards exactly. Yeah, I'm the target demographic, and I'm like, no, fuck this.
And you say no. I mean, it's funny because you see all these properties come back, like Streets of Rage, and Streets of Rage 4 was pretty amazing.
Yeah.
And they Battletoads. There has not been a good Battletoads game, and the Battletoads cartoon is junk, and the Battletoads toys are junk, and the IP is junk. So they keep it's like they're dragging the dead horse through the town square. It's like, guys, the horse is back, but still dead.
Yeah, the concept of like the original Battletoads, where it was just sort of like this almost. It's hard to tell if it was intentionally trying to be satirical towards the 90s cartoons of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I think it feels like it.
It feels like it, but like this one kind of ditches all of that, and it's just sort of satirical towards, not even satirical, just like, I don't know, it tries
trying to be two Battletoads.
Yeah, it's trying to make fun of its own self, and it's making fun of a clown. It's just not it's not working for me in any way, shape, or form. And
they really should have tried something that let it make fun of modern games, like modern themes and modern trends.
Yeah. Battletoads Matt Hazard game. Yeah, that's what
there you go. Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah. Duke Nukem and Battletoads. Like Stefan says, need to bring back Bucky O'Hare.
Put the Battletoads in Bulletstorm. So you.
Yeah. Nice. Yes. Put Battletoads in Bulletstorm, you cowards. All right. Yeah. Anything else you've been playing?
Yeah, so. No, that's it.
No.
That's
okay.
It. That's
all right.
I've been just.
For me, it's been a little.
Yeah.
What's that?
I was gonna say I've just been in comic book mode. That's all I've been really.
Oh man, and we'll get into that in a second with all the DC stuff. I'm just still plowing through.
Just turn this into we could just turn this into a comic show. Yeah.
I love that idea, and that's why Aaron is slowly zonking out. No, I played more Breath of the Wild, and I'm just busting through those shrines right now. God, yeah, I'm really enjoying that. I think I'm gonna try to finish it this maybe this week, but you guys know me. I'll finish it in 2 years. But I've been playing. So Nintendo had their Indie World event last week. Their last Nintendo Direct that everybody knew was going to be a Direct. But there was a big sale. It's funny. I didn't buy any of the games that were released that day. I really want to get Spiritfarer, and I wanted to get. I think it's Takeshi and Hiroshi, which looks great. And that's on Apple Arcade. Instead, I got another game that was on sale, which was What the Golf. And that game's so good. That's so fun. It's I think that's on Apple Arcade as well, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. It definitely feels like it would be. It's such a stupidly fun golf game. Like it starts you off with, hey, launch the just hit the flag with the the sort of the intro sequence. So you hit the flag with the ball, and it says good job. And you go to the next one, hit the flag again, and then you go to pull back and you let go, and your club flies out and hits the flag, and it's knock the chair into the flag. You're just knocking furniture all over the place, and then it just starts getting bonkers. That's just the intro sequence. It starts getting stupid crazy after that, and man, is that fun. The visual style is kind of this charming, definitely Apple Arcade-ish popular style right now, which is that really graphic polygonal look. Soft graphics. But God, it's fun. I've got a couple hours into it, but it reminds me of Desert Golf and just how zany desert some of those shots could be in Desert Golf, and translating that into 3D and playing up a lot of the real weirdness of it, and actually putting a silly. There's no plot, obviously, but having you weave in and out of sort of this mini overworld area, and then getting into those actual golf zones is really kind of fun. So yeah, I'm digging it. It's like Golf Story if it's crazier.
Yeah, I like when it goes into super hot for a couple of seconds.
Yes, right. Yep.
Yeah.
Hi. Get here for a sec. It's not about What the Golf, which is an interesting and fun game, but it just reminded me of something since you're talking about it on the Switch. Why hasn't Golf Story come to any other platform?
I don't know. That's a great question.
Something earlier this week made me think about that game.
Well, Sports Story got delayed.
Yeah, so it must have been that. Yeah. And I was like, oh, right. There was that golf RPG that I really wanted to play. It's been a couple of years. Surely that's somewhere. Nope.
No,
never thought about looking it up going anywhere because I got it on the Switch the day it came out.
Yeah. Everybody says put everything on the Switch, but nobody thinks about the people
port everything off the Switch. No, and that Golf Story is a fantastic game. That's a lot of fun too, for sure.
Yeah.
That's I was really kind of excited for Sports Story, but having it delayed, I'm okay with all the stuff that's still sort of coming out this year.
Yeah.
That Indie World Direct thing was really cool because it loaded up my queue, my pre-purchase queue, because I was starting to run low on games that I actually wanted to buy this year, and then I'm like, you know what? Fuck it, I might just do indie games the rest of this year because there's no other AAA shit coming out. So, Spirit Fair looks great. Sports Story is going to be really good. Raji looked really cool. I guess people are like fawning over that one. That's the Indian and Bali based one. But man, I am. I think I'm gonna be in indie heaven the rest of this year. Because I can't play games that are like 80 hours long anymore. I'm trying to get through Zelda, and it's taken forever. And then I got like 2 Final Fantasy games I got to play on the Switch, and a bunch of other shit. And then obviously next week this thing comes out. So, or this week, right? Comes out at the end of the week, which I want to pick up. So yeah, I'm gonna be waiting. But anyways, that's all I've been playing with the golf. Let's move on to some news. Wow, we've been recording for 40 minutes already. Holy crap, man!
There is some news. I wasn't on last week, so I'm not sure what all you covered.
We covered all the Xbox stuff and Halo.
Okay. In that case,
but go ahead and dive in some more if you want to. We can.
No, it was just I'll work around it. You know.
He's like, I'll work around it. I have nothing else.
I have nothing else. No. Hey, what's up with Facebook? Now you have to have a Facebook account to have a VR headset. Yeah. So So since the pandemic started, I have been hoarding money. Normally, I don't really think about it outside of.
Just like make it rain. Throw the money in the air. Your cash.
Yeah, I got all my cash right here.
There it is. $11.
Because I don't trust the banks.
Yeah.
No, I tend to just spend money mostly on food. Like I'll eat out a lot because I can't be fucking bothered to cook for myself or buy groceries for one person. They don't sell groceries in quantities designed for one person. So I'll eat out a lot, and it's fine. Like I make rent, I pay my bills, and then I buy food that tastes good, and then I buy a video game when I want it. And that's worked for me. And the only time I don't do that is every 7 or 8 years when there's a console coming out. It's like, well, I know there's a console coming out probably around Christmas, so I'll start saving and hopefully get it. So I've been saving, but this time, like since the plague started, I've been hoarding money, and I'm not overly excited about any of the consoles right now.
Yeah, me neither. Totally me neither.
So I've been sitting there thinking about it, and I'm like, I could get an Oculus. I could probably get a Vive right now. I think I have enough money right now that I could buy the full Valve Index kit.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I think that's like $1,300 Canadian for the full kit, and I think I can afford that right now.
A lot of folks that I've been talking to are saying that exact same thing. It's like could have bought a console this year, but since everything's delayed, like Deathloop got delayed out of 2020, so that leaves Sony with Godfall and Miles Morales, which is, I mean, it's a 7-hour, 8-hour game. That's it. That's like all there is. There's nothing on Xbox that's exclusive, really, that we know of.
It's a wasteland out there right now, and so that means that I've been sitting here giving serious thought to buying a VR setup now that I can run one. And the thing that's been holding me back from that is the fact that there are more than 3, but 3 that could be argued to be like the ones you want.
Yeah.
You're going to get an Oculus, or you're going to get a Vive, or you're going to get an Index.
Yep.
And now I'm not getting an Oculus because fuck Facebook.
fuck Facebook. And it sucks for those, because we were considering getting an Oculus headsets for the office, for work, for business side of things. And this, it actually is still kind of complex and tied to Facebook if you want to get on the business side, from what we were just starting to do some research on. It's like, well, no, we can't. We cannot be tied to Facebook at all, not even in like back end hidden stuff that's not technically. So we've struck the Oculus off of our list, and now we're back to the Vive and the Index, or I think HP makes one, or Dell, one of them makes one. Dell does, I think, whatever.
Everybody makes one.
Everybody makes one.
Yeah.
So, okay, get yourself a Vive Index, get yourself an Index, and you'll be good.
Yeah.
I've got a
Facebook.
Quest. It's fun. That's
You'll have to log in with Facebook pretty soon, right?
It's the end of this month, I believe. It's August 28th, I think.
I think they said 2 years, right? It's starting in October, right?
Yeah.
Well, even if you don't have one of those headsets, right, you're going to have to, if you use any of the software that allows you to be on the Oculus Store, and I'm sure there's plenty of people that have purchased games on the Oculus Store with non-Oculus-based headsets. Like, they're going to have to sign into Facebook now to be able to use that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that's that.
Okay. What else we got?
Did you guys cover? I mentioned it 2 weeks ago when it first blew up, but did you guys talk at all about the whole Epic and Microsoft and
a little bit? Yeah, we did. We did, but obviously stuff has even taken more of a turn since we recorded last time.
Yeah, so it's like it's basically become a whole thing, and the specific news-worthy thing is that Microsoft has basically thrown their full support behind the lawsuit that that Epic has brought forward. Epic is essentially arguing an antitrust case, essentially in the same vein as the one that Microsoft got hit with, like 15, 20 years ago?
Something like that, yeah. I guarantee you. So Microsoft's doing it obviously because they want to get xCloud on there.
Yeah.
Right? So I feel like I don't know if Microsoft will necessarily back off, but they may let the foot off the gas a little bit if Apple says, "Oh yeah, we're good with you doing xCloud on there now." Go ahead, put it back on there.
Yeah, but the other part of this is something I picked up a couple of days ago, which isn't specifically video game related, but is slightly relevant to us given our website. Apparently, Apple wants WordPress to start charging users money because they want 30% out of them.
So I just read the update to that one, and apparently that's been completely cleared up.
Really?
And it was WordPress had their own, because what they were trying to do was get people to purchase WordPress like professional edition stuff, right? And get hosting through the WordPress site. So within the WordPress app, you can connect to your own hosted website like we can, or a WordPress.com site, or WordPress.com, which is free, or a version that you pay for. And apparently WordPress, and I'm paraphrasing a little bit. Apparently WordPress was allowing people to purchase, like it would kick out or whatever to purchase to their site, like to purchase that site. And so Apple said, no, you have to make that change if you want to. That's why you can't have any updates, because you're having people go ahead and or purchase a subscription to your pro service through the App Store using. It's a very similar case to Epic in a weird way, and I think WordPress backed off, said, "Oh, okay, no problem. We'll just have it kick out to a, we'll have people do it through a browser." But really, I mean, the answer is freaking cut a deal with these big giant companies, or say, you know what, it's 30%. You don't have to pay anything up front. You just take a 30% cut, or you buy in, just like how you buy in with like a mortgage, you buy points down or whatever. Like, so I think that's what Amazon's doing. Say, you know what, fine, you're going to pay this much money per year to have a license where we don't take 30% cut.
No,
I mean, it seems like the easiest freaking answer.
The other answer, of course, being going to court.
The other answer, going to court, and just a bunch of billionaires swinging their junk around, and trillionaire companies. What else you got? What's the good news? We got good news?
I guess that depends. How do you feel about Brian Matsuda being fired from Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2?
Oh my god, yeah.
So I found out about this one, and I laughed and I laughed and I laughed. It sucks for the guy, but I laughed because this is the same dude that worked on the first one, which was notorious for falling apart narratively in the third act and didn't really have an ending. And this is the guy. He was the narrative lead up until like 3 days ago, on Bloodlines 2, and it's just like, are they trying to make this game fail in the exact same way? Like, why would you fire the dude, the narrative? Why would you fire the narrative lead when your game is having to deal with the reputation of being the sequel to the game that narratively falls apart entirely? Maybe that's their point. Who knows? Was that game due this year, or did it got it's 2021 now, right? It was originally due this year. It got announced last week that it was pushed to 2021. Okay. I assume. Man. Did they say why he got canned? No. We wish him well. He made a statement to like Rock Paper Shotgun, I think, and basically said, I didn't even fucking know this was coming. And then the Paradox released a generic statement on their website saying, like, we appreciate all the work he's done, blah, 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 wish him the best. No answers. So, yeah.
All right.
Glad I didn't pre-order that game. Here's a happy one.
Yeah, no transparency there, yeah.
You guys remember, like, call it a year or two ago when countries like Belgium banned loot boxes because they were gambling? And it sort of seemed like it was going to pick up steam over here, and kind of some stuff happened, and then it kind of just went away. So EA's got a class action lawsuit going at them over their loot boxes in California.
Oh, really?
And the basis of it is that they are very clearly gambling and meet all the criteria for gambling under California law. So guess who's back?
Oh, baby, finally. It is you're going to get those FIFA Ultimate Team drops. This is something that really needs to be regulated, and needs to be regulated quickly, because it's the games industry landscape right now. I mean, you go from the Apple thing with the 30% to loot boxes to, everything else streaming. It's a complete Wild West right now, and companies, I think they're all trying to figure out ways to make money and stay relevant and get them mad profits. God, this fucking cord is all over the place. But this lack of regulation, because the companies they're not self-regulating, so they're just like, fuck it, let's figure out other ways to make money. I think this is where I hate to say it, I hate having any type of like federal involvement, but yeah, you need shit. You need shit to get regulated, and at least something to be much more transparent.
So the craziest part about these types of conversations, it stems from something I brought up on the show a bunch, in that, like, almost everybody on the show is American. And America in general, regardless of where you fall politically, tends to be more anti-regulation than anything else.
Yeah.
You guys are all about like stay out of it, government. Like states' rights, like we'll handle it ourselves, like that kind of thing, to various degrees. I'm Canadian, where the government regulates a lot of stuff, and it's awesome. So it's like, I look at stories like this, and like every time something like this blows up, and then everybody's just like, I mean, I guess we need some regulation. Like, we gotta. I'm just sitting over here like, why didn't you do that already? Do it.
Right.
Do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just, it makes,
Have you not watched any of the political coverage from coming out of this country? It should be pretty obvious it's pretty obvious why we just don't do it.
we don't fucking do anything right now. It's the sad part.
I hope you count that loot box EA getting sued as a happy story, because I've got one more pulled up right now.
Let's do it.
Hey, you guys hear about Rocksteady?
Oh, I heard about this. Is
Continuing on our chronicles of companies being shitty. So let me pull up the date here from when this broke, if I can find it.
This is a long-standing. Oh man, the way that this all kind of unfolded is just fucked up.
So the story broke on the 18th, so almost a week ago. Apparently, as of 2018, over half the women who were employed at Rocksteady all signed a letter basically saying and accusing their bosses of doing absolutely nothing to prevent or punish sexual harassment and other inappropriate behavior. They go on to accuse other employees of using derogatory slurs, both against women in general and members of the LGBTQ community, and a whole bunch of other stuff. Basically, it's up there in terms of all of the gross shit that's been blowing up in the industry. It's definitely up there as some of the worst.
The way they're approaching it, the way they're handling it is just a mess.
So as of 2 days ago, I think today's the 23rd. As of 2 days ago, Rocksteady released a statement on Twitter. which is basically a non-statement.
Mm-hmm.
All it does, it just acknowledges that in 2018 they did in fact receive a letter, and then it basically talks about nothing, and then it says, "Oh, the usual pander. Oh, we're listening, and we're all in this together, and we're gonna learn our way through this together, and we're gonna make some changes, and we're gonna reach out and." This is the end of the letters. We will also be reaching out to every former female employee who left in the past 2 years to ask them to speak to the interviewers of their.
No, stop.
Right now, we are as passionate as ever about creating an inclusive culture, and we are listening carefully. There's that fucking nonsense sentence again. We are determined to stand up for our staff and stand firm against any unacceptable behavior. And I'm sure they would still feel that way about standing up to behavior and being inclusive if this story hadn't blown up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And and considering like the very next day they had their big DC fandom game reveal event. So yeah, good couple of days for Rocksteady.
We're really quickly running out of companies and developers that aren't just giant pieces of shit.
Yeah.
The spoiler alert, they're all giant pieces of shit. We just don't know the stories yet.
There's gotta be, I bet the guy who made Stardew Valley is all right. Please don't.
These small companies are generally a little better. Okay.
Yeah.
Please don't prove
until
me
he gets milkshake duck, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's like,
have you guys seen any of that High Score program?
Yes, I just watched it all. Yeah.
First of all, great show. For those not watching it, if you have Netflix, check it out. But that makes the industry, even in their violent video game episode, it makes the industry seem so wholesome and so uplifting and stuff like that. Where it's like if they had made like a new episode or like a season that's about modern times of video games, they'd have to dedicate half the season to be like, oh yeah, and then this company did this other shitty thing. And they want to make their victims relive their trauma by talking to interviewers, so we don't do it again.
There was an episode. Speaking of that, the episode that I remember was that violent games episode. It started with Night Trap, right? Because they talk about Night Trap and all that stuff that happens there. And the designer for Night Trap was, it was gonna be like way more interactive, and it was meant to be this like noir caper thing, and then then like Hasbro added vampires, and they made the vampire slow, and then they wanted us to accentuate the ladies because of the way they market it, and then they backed out at the last second, and Sega came in. It's like, it was gonna be really cool and wholesome and fun. We didn't totally. It's like, oh my god. No, times are bad back then.
There's a lot of in that, like you're watching it, like this is like watching like a show where it's like old wrestlers talking about stuff. Yep. It's like, I don't know what's a work and what's a shoot in this. Mm-hmm. It's like you're full of shit, aren't you? You're just
other than the Atari stuff. I don't think all of them were railing cocaine.
Yeah. Yeah, I did like the Ken and Roberta Williams segment in there. That was good.
Yeah, that was nice.
What else you got?
No, that's pretty much it. That's what I got.
Let's jump into a little bit of the Rocksteady stuff.
You're not going to touch on the DC stuff at all.
Yeah, let's talk about those couple things. So the games that we all knew were coming, like the worst kept secrets. I think we even mentioned these like back in like January, like straight up by name. You have 2 4-player co-op games coming out. Games as a service style. I think they're both games as a service style. Taking on Marvel's Avengers. You have the Suicide Squad game coming out, so that's going to be
the Suicide Squad game, which came out and everybody said, it's part of the Arkham series, and then the very next day they had to come out and be like, it's not a continuation of the Arkham series.
It's fun, and then they said the same thing about Gotham Knights, and Gotham Knights is like, oh wait, Gotham Knights is also not a continuation. I've had to change those stories like 4 times.
Well, yeah, because it was like, no, it takes place in the universe, but it's not.
Yes, so that's what it is. It's a
Gotham Knights definitely can't take place in that universe.
Yeah,
Barbara Gordon is walking. There's no way that's happening.
Yep. See you, Stefan. Yep. So you have Suicide Squad. Kind of an interesting trailer. You got a bad Superman.
It's King Shark, the video game. Let's be
honest.
I'm sorry,
King Shark. Yeah. Sorry, there you go. Shark Man.
King Shark is exactly
Shark Dude. You have King Shark, you have Harley Quinn, Captain Boomerang, and Deadshot.
Yep.
And so basically those are your classes, right? You have the shooter, you have the melee, you have the guy who's like in the middle, Captain Boomerang, and then you have the tank.
Yeah.
And I guess you're taking on the actual Justice League. Kill the Justice League is what what the mantra is. But I don't know. I mean, it was it was just a cinematic trailer. So
it was a trailer. You can say that about it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like just like, well, what's the best? We have to make Superman evil. That's the video game way. Like it's like this is just Injustice. This is just an Injustice action game, isn't it?
It really is. It's Injustice. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's 2022, but coming 2021 is the other game that we basically knew, the Court of Owls game, Gotham Knights, up to 4-player co-op, and Batman's dead.
Yeah,
read the Court of Owls.
Batman's going to be revealed to be Talon.
Yeah, or something. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He's going to be Red Hood. Batman's dead, and so you have Red Hood, Nightwing, Robin, and I can never tell if it's Batgirl or Batwoman.
Batwoman is Cassandra Cain. So,
okay. Yep. All right. So you have Batgirl, and they're taking on the Court of Owls, and like one of the missions they actually showed was Mr. Freeze was in there. There's you can ride around on your bat cycle.
Everyone's favorite part of Arkham Knight, the vehicle sections.
Let's exactly. Which I have to get back in another game that I have sitting on my I think that was actually a PSN. PlayStation
it was a
Plus
freebie
game.
At one point.
Yeah, I think that's where I got it from. But
The Riddler is still the Riddler's still trapped in his little hole because I ain't getting all those trophies. I'm sorry.
Yep. Oh god, yeah. Holy shit. All those Riddler trophies. So they're the big DC. What do you guys think about those? Any interest in those or another 4-player co-op? That's where everything's going these days.
The fact that Arkham Knights is co-op might mean I actually might finish one of those.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I've gotten to. I'm trying to think. I think I finished. What was the most recent one?
Arkham Knight.
I think I finished that one or got close to it. But all the other ones, it's just they get to the problem I have with every open world game, where it's like you've seen the pattern. Is there a reason to continue on unless like the story is really gripping you? And I've just like never seen like a real reason to finish those.
That's why. Asylum was good because it wasn't an open world. It was it was relatively streamlined. It had like an open courtyard, and that's about as open as it got.
Yeah. I also don't have like the Batman boner that a lot of people have. Like I'm more of an extended Bat family guy, which means that hey, this game looks great. It's just the Bat family without the Bat himself.
And that's what this is. That's what this is.
Because even in the gameplay they were talking to Alfred, and I was like, hell yeah, Alfred lived. So yeah, I mean, it should be interesting. I hope that the co-op like works pretty well, and it's. I mean, I've seen a lot of complaints of people worrying that you're going to take away from the more like noir elements of those games, just because now you've got co-op. You can't really take somebody talking to the Riddler serious or whatever while your teammates running around like, hey, you done with that cutscene? Hey, let's go over here. Hey. So
you know what's interesting is that. They've re-released the 3 Arkham games that Rocksteady created, right? And they've high-res those, made 8 major collections of Asylum City and Arkham Knight. But Arkham Origins, Arkham Origins is still like it's just out there, and they don't talk about it. But it's those guys that are developing.
That studio, Well, because Arkham Origins wasn't a good game. That's the problem, the problem that I would be more excited for Gotham Knights if it wasn't that Montreal studio.
Seriously, yeah. I guess maybe giving them something completely different, and letting them run with it might turn into something a little.
And because that means we're about probably 8 months away from getting like a Joker teaser in for Gotham Knights. Yeah. So we look forward to that. I love the Court of Owls. I will be excited about seeing that play out in a video game, but I don't have high confidence for the game. But I will keep my eyes on it more than Suicide Squad. I'll pay attention to that one more than the Suicide Squad.
I think so, me too.
Squad just reminded me how much I want a sequel to Sunset Overdrive.
Oh,
Yeah.
There was randomly actually a piece of news about that where Sony confirmed that they don't own Sunset Overdrive.
You mean at Microsoft or Sony?
Sony.
Oh, Sony. Yeah,
because Sony bought the studio.
Yeah, they bought the studio. So it's one of those like who wears Sunset Overdrive, and could like Sunset Overdrive 2 be a PS5 exclusive? But it turns out that they probably can't make it without Microsoft's blessing.
Man,
so hopefully
that's one game that Microsoft should put on the Switch, on the Game Pass, or just put the the Ori stuff.
Hey, if they want to release the best launch title for the Xbox One or whatever,
Series X,
the Series X is another launch title, I'll buy it again, baby. I own that game on PC and Xbox, and it's the best. It's still probably in the top 5 of Xbox One games, I would say.
That was a cool booth, because I remember that booth from E3, and they had like that whole aesthetic set up in the Microsoft area was for Sunset Overdrive, and I thought, all right, that's pretty badass.
The concept of an energy drink driven dystopia really still resonates today.
It's listen, give
maybe
me
more so
game where skateboarding isn't the point of the game, and that's what Sunset Overdrive was. It's like, hey, do you want to move around like a Tony Hawk game, but then also shoot people with cool Ratchet and Clank guns? Like, actually, a lot, really. And I mean, that you want to talk about genuinely funny games that make references about video games and how they're built and like how games work as a service and stuff like that. Like that game was fourth ball breaking, and to an extent that was hilarious. And I thought the writing was very good. The scenery is very good. Now that we have 4K HDR, like re-release it, guys. Like crank that shit to the max. Like that's what the game is asking for. And I will play it like a 5th time if you do. So please.
I never thought I would like that game until I started playing it. I was like, oh wait, this game whips. Yeah, all right.
Yep.
Do this. Yeah.
I'm sure it's on Game Pass. If it is.
Oh god, yeah. Just advertise that. Just advertise that. Well, that's it. We did it, guys. We were able to get under an hour and a half.
There is one other thing if we want to burn.
Sure, just do it.
Did you guys watch the new Batman trailer?
Yeah.
Of course.
What did you think? What did you think about that?
I'm excited anytime a new
leading into debating somebody to say they like Robert Pattinson. Come on, give it to me.
Oh, I think the design
was okay.
Like everything we've seen of that so far looks cool.
As a person that's a big fan of the movie Good Time, I like Robert Pattinson. So
you know what? Seeing what are they had the Riddler, Paul Dano's Riddler. They had Catwoman, and they even threw in what's the dude doing Penguin, completely unrecognizable as the Penguin.
Colin
Farrell. So I think it looks kind of, and they had like Joker stooges there too. It's kind of interesting that they're
best movie Batmobile and significant amount of
I
time.
like the idea that it was just like, hey, I have like an old Mustang. If you could just strap shit on it.
My favorite part about this movie is that the original teaser, when they showed like, the logo and everybody was speculating about how grungy and like, oh, it's probably the gun that killed his parents, split in half, and he turned into a logo. My whole thought was like, this is going to be, and then they were like, and this is a new Batman. Like he's only been doing it for a little while, blah, 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 blah. My whole thought was that like, I was imagining it. I was like, this is going to be a grungy ass fucking costume. Which is going to be cool, and it's going to be just raw as hell. And then they show this trailer, and there's a couple of scenes where it's like, oh yeah, he's wearing combat boots. But then there's other scenes in like properly lit, like where he's at the first crime scene that they have in the trailer, and the suit looks fine. It looks like a Batman suit. Like it looks like the kind of a combat suit a rich guy would make. And I was like, oh okay. And then they show the car.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, they just strapped a fucking rocket to a car. Let's do this.
Okay.
Have they mentioned who Alfred is yet? Did they I wasn't paying too much attention to that trailer. So they may have even showed him because that's a very important part to.
Yes, they have, and I don't remember.
Canon.
Yeah, they have, and I have absolutely no idea.
It is Andy Serkis.
Is it?
Is it really?
It's Andy Serkis.
According to IMDb, it is Andy Serkis.
Sure. Fuck yeah, Claw.
All right. Hell yeah.
I will say though, what about muddying the waters with? Oh, by the way, Ben Affleck is going to be whatchamacallit, Batman again in the Flash movie.
Alongside Michael Keaton as Batman in the same movie.
I will say, and I'll go to my deathbed saying this, that I think now, as somebody who has not seen whatever Batman movie, any movie where Ben Affleck has played as Batman, I've never seen any of those movies. I still think if you look at Ben Affleck as like Bruce Wayne, whenever I was a kid, like that he is the definition of what I imagined Bruce Wayne to be.
Yeah.
Now his Batman, I don't know anything about, but
I like Ben Affleck's Batman. I don't like any of those movies, but I think he's fine.
He is to Batman what everybody imagined Iron Man was. Like the reason Robert Downey Jr. was Iron Man is because everybody looked at Iron Man in the comic, Tony Stark in the comics, and said, "It's fucking Robert Downey Jr. That's Ben Affleck. That's Ben Affleck." Like,
yeah. So I'll be excited to see what like Michael Keaton in a bat suit in 2021 or whatever. Like that's gonna be a weird
is he supposed
visual.
to be like the whatever version of Batman that he's supposed to be?
Who knows? I don't, because if it's supposed to be a Flashpoint movie, but if they follow it closely, then that will probably be Thomas Wayne.
Okay. Yeah, which is crazy because what if they bring in fucking Pattinson and he's at the end and he's Batman and like you know what I mean?
Yeah,
just a bunch of Batman sitting around going, "I'm Batman." No, I'm Batman.
Yeah. So who knows what his Batman's going to be? But,
also, how about the Zack Snyder cut, where we are all going to find out in 6 months that we shouldn't give the internet what they want ever?
Does nobody remember the clusterfuck that Szechuan sauce turned into because of the internet? Why are we letting them dictate things again?
If they don't let him keep his mustache in all
they had to put that shit back in there.
Yeah, allow him to have it. And if you want to put a stupid off-screen toss line of being like, why do you just have a mustache? Like sometimes the Superman masculinity grows it very quickly and I have to shave it off. Like I give me some stupid line, but leave it in there and don't edit it out, you monsters.
The
4 hours.
The
4 hours. Yeah.
The one thing I'm really happy about with this new Batman movie is Jeffrey Wright playing Commissioner Gordon or Detective Gordon, I suppose.
Yeah.
Because I'm not a huge Westworld guy. That he was my favorite part of Westworld, and I'm imagining like the desolate hopelessness that he has in Westworld as Gordon before Batman really starts. You know what I mean? Like trying to deal with a Gotham that's just getting fucked by criminals.
Yeah.
Like I'm picturing that there and going, yeah, okay. And then apparently HBO's doing a miniseries.
Yep.
HBO's doing a lead-in series that's supposed to be more like Gotham than anything like else. Like,
oh, really?
It's not going to be. Apparently, it's not going to be like the Adventures of fucking Batman. It's going to be like, I guess it's the GCPD probably.
Yeah, I mean, and that's Gotham, the TV series Gotham done actually right, I would assume.
I would love a buddy cop comedy show set in Gotham, but you don't realize it's set in the Batman universe until like halfway through the first season.
Yes. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
When all of a sudden some like, wait a minute, is that a clown?
Is there a fucking clown at the crime scene?
Yeah. Batman.
Oh, no.
Wait. Real quick, though.
Here's what we need. We need Dark Knight of the Round Table.
Yes, all the Batman. Real quick, and then maybe we can end it. News just broke a little while ago. Actually, a couple hours ago. Actually, Friday. Apple court filing says Epic asked for a special deal before all this nonsense started. That's from Kotaku. Yeah.
And I'm guessing Apple said no.
I
fucking hate this.
Them. I hate this whole thing. It's so dumb.
The whole thing. I hate all of them.
I just hate everything.
Yeah. Fuck it. All right.
I booted up Fortnite today.
Did you really? Just to get some points?
Hey, just to look at it. And there's that stupid gray and black apple on there. I'm like, no, fuck this.
What's that, Sam?
Before we end this, what was Jeff Keighley talking about today? He's got some show coming up on Thursday.
Yeah, that's the opening night live. That's like, remember, because they did the opening night live thing last year for Gamescom, so he's got like 2 hours this year.
Oh, it's for Gamescom. Okay, I thought like we were this was something for the Game Awards show, and I was like, is it really Game Awards time? We're only in August.
No. It's it's just something that's happening during Gamescom. And I'm getting last year's wasn't that astounding. There weren't like any real big groundbreaking things. I'm not expecting there to be this year. However, since there is a Nintendo Direct coming this week, maybe they'll have something Nintendo related. Who knows? He's been talking about the event and not necessarily hyping up any major announcements from what I've seen. So
to Nintendo's credit, that indie thing was like the biggest banger we've had this summer.
Yeah, I know, right? That was pretty damn awesome.
Even about next gen consoles.
Yeah.
They didn't even have to lead off with Grand Theft Auto 5.
Mm-hmm.
I will never not laugh at the fact that regardless of everything that in the world that's going to shit and like all the bad stuff in the industry and whatever the crisis of the week or month is, because there's always something, just interspersed is just always Nintendo over here going, hey, what's going on, guys? Let's check this shit out.
Yeah, it's great.
Here's 27 minutes of fucking indie games, and they're the cutest thing you've ever seen, and everybody wants to play them. All right, see you guys later. Bye. And it's just like, all right, Nintendo, good job. I don't play any of your games and consoles, but good job.
All right, that's it. We're shutting down. That's it. I'm done. I'm cooked. I've actually got to get working and playing some games. You can find us at sidequesting.com, SideQuesting TV on the Twitch, SideQuesting on YouTube. Individually, I'm Dolly Domovsky at JJ. Where are you?
The _double_J. Yeah.
Aaron.
I'm at Twitch and Twitter at Scratty Bones.
You got it.
I'm also tagged along with Sam in the Discord under the Vape Nation category.
Vape Nation, baby. Yeah. And Sam, we can find you in the Discord.
Yeah, actually, I guess that is a place that you can
we can probably start talking about the Discord.
I talk in general chat every once in a while when I generally have something to chat about.
You talk more there than you've had more messages there than you've put tweets out in real life.
I will say that, so I tried to send somebody a Twitter message today, and I accidentally tweeted it and deleted it. And I got a message from somebody who was like, yo, you never tweet and you deleted the only one you had. It was strictly because I tried to send a message actually to that exact same person and screwed it up. So,
oops.
Hey, I'm 30 now. So what are you going to do?
Hey, happy birthday. That's right. Your birthday. You made it. 30? Yeah. That's it?
Yeah, I know, right? I felt like
young
that
body
for the last 15. So.
Did you get a webcam for your birthday?
Actually, now you're the youngest out of the four of us here, right? Aaron, you're 30, right?
I will be 33 in like 4 days.
Oh shit, that's right. And JJ,
I'm like 35. I don't know anymore.
You kind of at this point you just kind of stop.
Quest beats me, right? Because I think Tom might be like 2 months younger than me or 2 months older than me.
Something
When's
like
Tom's
that,
birthday? It's somewhere around there.
I think it's somewhere around there, yeah. Zach, and then Corey's young too, though. Corey's still a baby.
Oh yeah, I guess that's right. I don't know, man. Hey, do what you want at age 30. I mean, follow your local laws and restrictions currently. Oh, that's true. Yeah, I'm old. All right, listen, I'm actually old.
Yeah, there's the realization. There's the soul-crushing, agonizing realization that we've all lived through. What's up, Sam?
There's that meme that's like when the 80s was 20 years ago. That gets me every time I see it. And even that old or that high score show that's I've been watching, like they're like, yeah, the video game world championships or whatever in like 96. And I was like, holy shit, I remember seeing that on television. I'm going to die any day.
Now you're going to be
crisis hits you.
Yeah. Now you're going to be looking for chairs with lumbar support and all.
Like me, I'm telling you, man.
And it sucks. I need more lumbar support.
Does anybody have any recommendations for like a seat cushion that doesn't make my butt hurt sitting on a chair? Because I'm getting old and sitting on a chair makes my butt hurt after a really short amount of time.
Get a new fucking chair. That's what I'm telling you, man. Just there's no such thing as a good seat cushion. Just get a. I hate to say get a memory cushion because those things fail quickly. So.
I had a 4-hour meeting the other day where I took 2 of it on the floor because my chair was killing me.
So I got this secret lab chair. I still got to do my review for this thing. But my director messaged me like last week and said, "Hey, we have that Aeron chair at the office. If you want us to send it to you home," and I turned him down because I don't fucking have room in my house, definitely not in my office here. Where am I going to put this chair now? So I turned down my Aeron chair at the office. Yeah, see this one. I mean, yep, we're gonna do a Herman Miller cross SideQuest thing.
I was gonna say that $1,500.
That's actually pretty badass. That's
Give Aaron the Aeron.
Yeah. Yep. All right, that's it. We'll see you guys. We love you. Bye. Peace. Ending the